man. Just finished episode 4 and episode 5 of season 6, part 1, and I thought instead of making two separate videos on it, why not I just review the whole, everything I watched from the previous 5 episodes. Now, I'll go over some of the good, and I'll go over some of the bad, and I'll go over some of the in the middle stuff that I'm kind of in the middle on. Just, of course, based off the top of my head, like I usually do all the time. And right now I'm currently in my car right now. I just got off of work, and it's raining right now. So if you hear it was like lightning going off. Like I promise you, I saw lightning go across the sky over those gray clouds over there. Luckily, I see the sun setting over there, so I think the clouds are starting to rise up from the thunderstorm that just happened. But anyway, if you hear some thunder, I do apologize. I hope that doesn't refrain from the video, but I'm about to go in it regardless. So first I want to start off is with Kenny's character. And I saw a lot of people online hating the fact that what they're doing with Mr. Miyagi, and I'll go over that in a second. But first I want to talk about Kenny. I feel like out of every character in this I guess season so far, I feel like Kenny has had the worst hand dealt to him out of everyone. And I saw some people complaining in videos saying that Kenny should have gone to the Sekai Taikai too. I do definitely think it would have benefited Kenny, and for Kenny to find his own balance. Because compared to guys like Miguel and Hawk and Robbie and even Tori and Sam, characters like that have truly found their balance. Well, I guess not Tori right now, because so I guess Tori is a bad example. But Kenny didn't get that, and I'm going to go step by step on why I think Kenny's character right now is pretty disappointing for fans like me and everybody else. But the number one thing I feel like is because Kenny's character never got that true endpoint compared to, like I said, like a Hawk or like a Miguel or a Robbie, because characters like that were dealing with their own shit. And I'm not saying Kenny is above those characters. I don't think those 3 characters will never be topped in this show, especially Sam. God damn, excuse me. But Kenny was a great take on Hawk's character too. And I like to compare him to Hawk because of how much of a nerd he was, how scared he was. He kind of has some traits too. The fact that, that he moved into this new area and he's already getting teased and bullied, by these rich, snobby, stuck-up kids. But to see how Kenny has grown throughout the course of the show, I would have loved if they were to just drag it out a bit. Either drag it out or give it the proper conclusion that it deserves, man. Because, and again, I get it, but and that's the one thing that I'll take away from part 1 is that everything felt so quick, so incohesive than we previously see with other characters. Again, other characters that I previously mentioned, their whole arcs got fleshed out. The end, season 5 ended fantastically. Kenny looking down and him being sad and everything that, he, it just ended perfectly. And that cliffhanger it felt like a conclusion, but there were still some things to patch up, which is why I kept telling people, no, the show shouldn't have ended at the end of season 5, because characters like Kenny, they need their true conclusion. Except from what it looks like, Kenny isn't going to get that conclusion, because one, he's not even in the Sekai Taikai, or Tenkai, or whatever. So he's not even in the Sekai Taikai, Tenkai. I can't say it. He's not even in the tournament, and he hasn't even gotten his end goal. Now, he had a talk with his brother, Sean. I like how they brought Sean back. I really like that. But he just joins back in and it's no consequence, you know? And I get that everyone is tired of the karate wars and everyone's matured now, but it just feels underwhelming. It feels like we skipped that final boss, you know, like that Naruto versus Sasuke final battle type of moment. Like we didn't get it. And I'm not really sure how it could have. I'm not a writer. I'm not sure how it could have possibly ended, but I feel like it needed to be a bit more grander than we previously saw. Because I would have loved to have seen Kenny achieve his own balance in a great way. And I feel like we didn't get that. So I honestly feel like they mishandled Kenny and they just pushed him to the side to go into other characters, which I am interested to see what they do with those characters, but at the same time, for them to sacrifice Kenny's character like that, I think is very uncharacteristic of the authors, I will say. And again, like, one major issue I do have with this part of the show is the fact that everything just feels quick. Nothing feels natural like it was in the first 4 seasons, you know? Well, I guess 5 seasons too. I mean, season 5 had its flaws, but the way they wrote Terry Silver was great. So season 5. All right, the last 5 seasons. But yeah, man, they really did mishandle Kenny. They really mishandled Kenny, and that's honestly really disappointing to see. And I'm not gonna go on a rant like everyone else does, because I mean, this show has done a lot more good than bad. So this show has done a lot more, you know, good than bad, and it's not like a Naruto war arc type of fumble, you know. I'm not gonna rant about it. I'm not gonna complain too hard about it. The more I think about it, I am gonna complain more about it. So if you see a video come up about Kenny's character, please be warned. But yeah, man, I feel like they didn't mishandle Kenny's character, bottom line, and hopefully in this final battle he does something more, I guess, better, you know, hopefully. Whatever he does. Oh yeah, Mr. Miyagi. He's one of the, I think, 3 or 4 things I wanted to talk about. Yeah, 3 or 4. Mr. Miyagi. I saw people hating, like I said, on the changing of Mr. Miyagi's character. I at first kind of liked it, but now I'm starting to kind of deviate, and I'm just smack dab in the middle. I hope they do right with this, because we've seen, you know, in other sequels, Star Wars, where they deviated from the previous character and they really shit on that character's legacy, you know what I'm saying? And they brought them back and they didn't really capture that same magic that they did the first time. They only brought them back for some type of cash grab. I don't think that's what this is, because as we've seen from previous shows from the last 5 seasons, we know that the authors and the writers, they have passion when writing Cobra Kai, unlike, you know, Disney Star Wars. They have passion in writing this. They're not just out here for the money. We've seen how well they've written these characters, and we've seen how well the show was written, so I'm not gonna hate on it like I said with Kenny, even though that was disappointing as fuck. But I'm not gonna hate on it too much, and I'm just gonna see where that goes, because hopefully that ends well. Because the Miyagi storyline is honestly, I think, bringing Daniel down a bit, because now his character is starting to regress, and he's starting to go back to that hot-headed ways, and that is understandable and that is realistic, but it's kind of annoying, you know, and it's kind of annoying to see, you know, Johnny and Daniel not getting along again, you know, like, been there, done that, you know, they had their moment in the sun in the last seasons, but, and I get, you know, like, you know, yin and yang, you know, they're destined to fight forever, etc., etc. I just want Johnny and Daniel to be at peace, honestly. But at the same on the same side of the coin, I understand that I completely understand that they want to keep things interesting. They don't want everyone to be just all buddy buddy because that'd be boring. I get it. I understand it. But again, it's just kind of annoying. And I appreciate in the final episode where he Daniel punched him in, I think, in the nose or the mouth or whatever, in the face basically. And then I thought Johnny was going to strike back, but he just stood there and he kept calm. And he said, that after this tournament, we're done. So, again, I do kind of respect that, and I do appreciate that. And again, Johnny's a more developed character than Daniel is. Like, he's still the same 80s Johnny Lawrence, where he's stuck in the past, but at the same time, he's still more developed than Daniel is. Johnny had that hot-headed temper, too, and honestly, it's easier to like and appreciate Johnny more considering how depressing his past was. But to see how... stay on. There we go. But to see how... just to see how Daniel is compared to Johnny, it's like... I don't know if they're doing this on purpose, but... yeah, man. Yeah, nah, this is the reason why people like myself like Johnny more than they like Daniel. Now, I wouldn't say that Daniel was always the asshole. He did have some justified... he was pretty justified in the first Karate Kid movie, of course. But, yeah, nah, Daniel's just coming off as an asshole now, man. And... for him, and again, with the training thing, like him having a problem with Johnny's training, he can clearly see that Johnny is a changed person because of Miyagi-Do. So him having a problem with the way that Johnny does things is pretty dumb, considering that literally in season 4 they literally concluded the fact that both ways are great ways of training, and they're both effective ways. The same way that Sam was taught Johnny's ways of karate, you know what I'm saying? So it regresses Daniel's character for him to really just go back and say, oh, well, this way isn't the right way. Like, it just makes this nigga look like a child, dude. And it kind of pisses me off how regressed Daniel's character is. But again, I get it. I get the fact of drama. I understand that. But to make your characters look like complete fucking idiots, it's not worth it for the writing of the show. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather everything be at peace than characters starting to regress. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like that. Again, I'll see where they... I'm all for the ride, man. Cobra Kai is one of my favorite all-time shows. I feel like Cobra Kai as a whole has made my love for Karate Kid blossom so much more. And one of the very few sequels where it's actually a great sequel, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to say season 6 right now is the worst season or whatever, because we still have 2 more parts. But part 1 did feel pretty disappointing. There were some good, though, and I'm going to talk about the good. I'm liking the Dimitri Hawk stuff, even though I wish Dimitri would see things from Hawk's perspective. But then again, seeing where Dimitri is coming from because of the fact that, for over almost a decade now, if not even longer, he's thought that him and Eli were going to stay together, as friends, for the rest of their lives. And I feel like, and I'm trying to see things from Dimitri's point of view, where he thinks that he needs Hawk and he wants Hawk to be at his side, so it really makes me wonder how sad he was, the fact that Eli was such a bully towards him. So, yeah, man. I think he's probably just afraid of losing Hawk, in a way. And I feel like a lot of kids like myself kind of went through that at the end of high school, where we we were looking forward to moving, we're looking forward to moving forward with our lives, like we were looking forward to that, but at the same time, we were all afraid of what we were leaving behind. So to see Dimitri upset that Hawk's not going to be with him at MIT, it's pretty understandable, and I can definitely see this being a realistic thing. Now, I'm on Hawk's side here because, like, I'm not like my parent. Well, I'm not like my mom, because she kind of knew where she wanted to be in life. She already had things figured out. I'm still growing. I'm still learning stuff along the way. There's some things that I don't even know exist now that I want to learn, if I want to have it as like a hobby or a career or whatever. I'm starting to dabble more into combat sports, really, like boxing and wrestling and martial arts, like Karate Kid and karate. I don't know if they're mixed in, but yeah, that's why I like karate movies, I guess, like Cobra Kai, Karate Kid. I guess Avatar kind of showed that from time to time. And also I believe what's it called? Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee. I'm loving Bruce Lee. I just found out. I just watched a couple of movies a couple days ago, man. Seeing like, I just that's a story for a different day. But yeah, nah. I'm on Hawk's side here because should I turn on the car? It's starting to get hot. It's like 70 or 80 degrees out. I'll continue to review. But I'm on Hawk's side because he is basically he wants to explore things. He wants to discover things for himself. He doesn't want to have a one-track journey where it is the safest option, but at the same time there are other options to explore, and there's other options to discover, and other people and other things, I mean, hey, life's a beautiful thing, man, and we can only experience it in different ways, I guess. So yeah, I completely understand that. I like what they're doing there, and I can't wait to see it completely unfold, because I was kind of afraid that Hawk wasn't going to be a part of the tournament, but now he is because of the Tory situation, which I will get into in a bit. But yeah, I'm loving that thing between Hawk and Dimitri, and I can't wait to see how it blossoms out throughout the season. I really hope they dig deeper into that. And yeah, and I'm gonna rewatch the show so that way I can get like more of a scope of their relationship, because I already like it as much as I do now. Moving on. Tori, I guess, maybe Tori. I don't know. One thing I will talk about, though, the Sekai Taikai, whatever it's called, I like how much emphasis they're putting on this tournament. I love how the students are making this out to be a very important thing. I really like that, and I really do appreciate that. And it really gets you thinking, because, you got Miguel over here fighting so that way he could be more recognized, and for him to get into Stanford, and this being a great opportunity for him so he could get into, his future college. I do like that, and I like the chance of Robbie, thinking that this is all he's got. He has to win this, So again, I do like how much importance they put on this tournament in like the final episode. And yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing, really. And I think that's really about it. But yeah, I love the parallels between Miguel and Robbie, for real. I love how important this tournament is for them and their future. And I'm kind of hoping Robbie wins this tournament, because as they alluded to back in, I think, episode 4 or 5. I believe it was episode 4, but no, I think it was 5. I forgot. But they alluded back to the fact that Robbie's never won a tournament. And looking back on it, yeah, he never has. He got beat by Miguel because of how injured his shoulder was. And he got beat by Hawk because his mind was unbalanced, while Hawk's mind was completely imbalanced, So Yeah, man. I'm loving what they do with Robbie. I kind of hope that he wins the tournament as a fan, to be honest, because he deserves it out of everyone else. And yeah, man. Um, what else should I cover? Um, I guess I could cover the Kreese stuff. I think the only thing that I like about the Kreese storyline is Kreese's side of things right now is Quan, basically. I do like Quan. I would love to see him interact with the characters. And I just like that edge that he has, and honestly, I can't wait to see how he interacts with the characters, not only through his dialogue, but with, the fighting, which is one of the things I love about this show. So yeah, man, I can't wait to see what they do there with Quan. Um Again, I'm not a big fan of the Kree storyline. I get that they're doing this because they need that big bad villain. But I guess you could argue that Kreese's character kind of regressed, even though he's kind of made himself stronger now. Because he's cut off his weakness, which was Johnny, even though I would have loved to seen that be like the end of Kreese. Like Johnny be the end of Kreese, because Kreese always saw. Okay. Sorry. If I cut out, I think it's because my phone cut off. I apologize about that. I was just over here rambling. But yeah, back to the Kreese stuff. Back to the Kreese situation. I really want to see how his villain arc is gonna end, because Jesus Christ, it's still raining. Anyway, but I want to see how things are gonna end for him, because like, I thought his character arc ended back in season 4, I want to say, and now he's regressed back into like the main villain spot, and now in a way, yeah, I just want to see how his character ends, and I feel like his storyline out of everyone's, outside of Kenny's, of course, I feel like is the least interesting, to be honest with you. But yeah, man, want to see more Quan. Hopefully they end Kreese's arc off, the right way. And yeah. Am I forgetting anything? Tori, man. One thing I'll take away from this storyline, which was really good, is that it needed more time. If they could have split episode 5 up into 2 parts, so that way you could have a more fleshed out story with Tori and her mother dying, there's elements in there that's really good. That's really great, honestly, man. But I feel like it didn't get as fleshed out as it needed to be. And yeah, it didn't get as fleshed out as it needed to be, really. And I would have loved to have seen a talk between her and Kreese the second time around, when she's more broken and open to talking, because she wants to let her fury out, So I love what they did with Tori. I really like what they did with Tori and her mother dying. I don't really know how I don't know, like, there's a mystery there almost. Like, did she really die because of a blood clot, or was it because she got attacked because her fist was balled up? Or was that PTSD from the mother possibly getting abused, and she was trying to fight back on her own, and maybe she like recollected her memories and thought that she was fighting the father figure, whoever she was fighting, or the male presence, I don't know, man. Because the doctor said that she died because of a blood clot. And I love the flashbacks of Tori getting from her mother that she has to fight, that she has to struggle. I really like that. And this was definitely great for Tori's character, man. But it needed that 2 parts. It needed that extra spice, that talk with Kreese the second time around, when she's more vulnerable and more open to to being in the tournament and to letting her fury out, you know. Again, like Sam versus Tori round, what is it, 2, 3, 4? I don't even know at this point. It's gonna hit different. It's gonna hit really different, man, and I can't wait for it. It's really good, man. Yeah, man. Is there anything else to talk about? I talked about Kenny, Robbie, Miguel, Miyagi. I touched on Kreese a bit. Not that interesting for me. Want to see more Quan and how he interacts with the characters and the dialogue and the fighting and all that. It's gonna be great to see his mannerisms, you know, with the balanced folk. But yeah, man. I am interested to see what they do with Devin because, again, Kenny's loss is Devin's gain because she cheated to get into the tournament, and I honestly really like that. And it's going to be really interesting to see like what they do with her moving forward in this tournament. So, and like I said with Dimitri and Hawk, there's a lot of great elements in this tournament to make it as great as it is. And to see how unbalanced they are right now, to see them come and be balanced again, it's going to be a great thing to see, and I can't wait to see what they do with this tournament. Again, could be a bit longer. I don't like how this first part was only 5 episodes in. I wish it could have been 10 at least, so that way people could have gotten the amount of time, you know, to really just shake things up. But yeah, bro. But yeah, I don't really know, to be honest with you. Why did that car just stop in front of me? What the hell? This is weird shit. But yeah, man. Trying to think, bro. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Johnny's matured well, not only as a person but as a character. I love to see it. Chosen went back to Okinawa. I don't really know what that's gonna do. I'm not really that interested in Chosen's character, to be honest with you, man. Because they like to make him this badass, goofy character that's just not really... It's not really for me. I like Chosen being this hardened old man. Where he could be like Johnny and he could be like... He could be funny, but he doesn't know that he's funny. He's dead serious, you know, so... I don't know. They made him a little too goofy for me. But overall... let me think, man. Let me think. No, I think that's really about it, man. I think I covered everything I needed to. I can't wait to see what they do with part 2. Hopefully it gets the allotted time that it deserves, because low-key, I feel like this last season deserves 20 episodes, if I'm being honest. But, yeah, man, that's really about it. Off the top of my head, Cobra Kai! Yeah, okay. I'll talk to y'all later.